Welcome to Genealogy First and Now. What were they like when they began genealogy versus now? What was your first genealogy software?
My first genealogy software was Family Tree Maker.
And what are you using now?
Now I'm using Legacy Family Tree.
What was the first genealogy group you joined?
My first group I joined was the African American Genealogy Interest Group, which is part of the Dallas Genealogical Society. That's here in Dallas, Texas.
And which groups are you a member of now?
Now I'm still a member of the African American Genealogy Interest Group and the African American Genealogical and Historical Society of Chicago, which has a Mississippi study group.
Your first oral interview for genealogy was with?
My first formal interview, I would say formal interview, was with my cousin when he was 94 years old, and that was 1998 at his home in Woodville, Mississippi.
And your last oral interview was with?
My last oral interview was about 3 months ago with a cousin of mine, a 62-year-old cousin, who saw my blog and told me a story that she got from her cousin, or our cousin, who was born in 1919, who remembered his grandfather, which was my great-great-grandfather.
What was the first document you found?
First document I found was probably a microfilm, a 1900 census with my grandfather when he was, I think, a 6-year-old.
And what was the last document you found?
The last document I found was about a month ago, and it was a bill of sale for an 18-year-old enslaved girl it was in Natchez, Mississippi. The notorious slave trader Isaac Franklin was selling her to J.C. Patrick, the last owner of my plantation that I'm researching in Mississippi.
What was your first genealogical challenge?
The first challenge was actually just learning the methodology and finding a way to stop wandering around and get to some direct information that I should be looking for.
What are you challenged with now?
And now I'm challenging with, again, staying focused. I have so much information. I'm challenged with wanting to know which parts to write about or blog about first, and making sure I stay abreast of all the different projects that I have.
What was the first advice you received?
First advice I received from a cousin who I was talking to was the advice she got, which was write it down.
What advice would you give a newbie today?
And the advice I give a newbie today is the same. Tell the stories that you remember or that you've interviewed people for and write it down.